What's good, everyone? Take KZ back here, giving you a live review now that I'm back from Japan of Dragon Gate's Dead or Alive. So this show, I think, was the most fun I've ever had at a pro wrestling show. And it's impacted the way this channel's playing out here. I had such a good time. It's really grown my emotional connection to Dragon Gate, which in turn has made it hard to really invest in other shows. I will get my April top 10 up here. I finally finished All-Star Queendom, which was the last show I was waiting on for April. But I don't think there's going to be a May top 10 because I'm really grinding through stuff. I still haven't even finished Don Taku, and AEW Double or Nothing was last night. And I was really struggling to engage with anything. I only watched the FTR Nigel McGuinness match, and then I just kind of checked out. And I had the show on in the background, but it couldn't draw me in. The exception with wrestling is everything Dragon Gate is drawing me in now, because I care about that roster top to bottom following this show. So this channel may alter a little bit. I'm probably going to put a review up of the June 4th show with all 4 titles on the line, even though that's not like a pay-per-view. And then going forward, this may just become a Dragon Gate channel. We'll see if the novelty and the love affair wears off now that I'm in Japan and get further removed from it. But for now, I'm all about Dragon Gate right now and struggling with everything else. So let's get into the show. Our pre-show match was Genki Horiguchi and Syachihoko Machine against Mondai, Ryoya, Yoshida. There wasn't a whole lot here. I can't recommend this match. Probably giving it 2 stars is probably too much. I went 2.25 just because I'm been a fan of Genki Horiguchi for years, so it was really special to get to see him live, even if he really only did 1 or 2 spots. Our opening match was Hyo versus Ryoya Tanaka. This was just a bit of a Brave Gate showcase here. 2 really talented young guys that didn't have much going on for this show. It is a short match, but I thought it was pretty strong. I really had a great time with it. I gave this match about 3.25 stars, but it's quick and it's fun. But you're not missing a whole lot here. It's just 2 really young athletic guys going at it. Second match of the show was a 6-man tag, Z-Brats, Gianni, Valletta, Kai, and Yoshiki Kato versus Mochizuki Dojo, a team of Daiki, Yanagiuchi, Masaaki, Mochizuki, and Fuda. This match was just a setup for the May 9th showdown between Gianni, Valletta, and Masaaki, Mochizuki. So that's really all you got. It was an amazing experience to be in the crowd and have to run out of the way of Valletta. He came through with the chain right in my section. I got a video of it that's up on my Instagram. But that was a blast. But that was really the highlight of this match. Not a whole lot happened here, just the guys beating up Daiki. I gave this 2.25 as well, maybe even 2.5. It was fun. It's short and sweet, but not much to see here. Match 3 was a 10-man tag team between Gold Class. At the time, what was the entire Gold Class of Benkei, JACKY, KAMEI, Mochizuki Jr., and Riiita. And then Bendito coming over from Mexico. I don't think this was his debut show. I think he came through the couple days before on the May 3rd show against the team of Not Hug, Dragon Kid and Naruki Doi, Don Fujii, Luis Mante, and Ultimo Dragon. It was cool to be in the building to actually hear Ultimo's song instead of it just being muted on the streams like it always is. I first started watching Dragon Gate when Naruki Doi was the Dream Gate champion, and I really loved that reign. It's not the best received reign, but because that was my first Dream Gate reign when I followed the promotion, I've always been a big fan of Doi, so I was really thrilled that he got booked for this show, even though he seems to get booked for pretty much all the big Dragon Gate shows. Getting to see Dragon Kid live was amazing as well. I'm glad he recovered in time for that. And Riiita and JACKY KAMEI are my favorite guys on Dragon Gate, so getting to see them was great too. This was a fun, get everyone on the card match. I went 3.25 on this. Without the live experience, it's probably not that good, but it was just amazing to see all these guys in person. Match 4 was my match of the night, and it was the Open the Triangle Gate title match between the team of Paradox, BB Hulk, Kagetora, and Susumu Yokosuka against the team of Natural Vibes, Flamita, KZ, and Strong Machine J. This was your quintessential Dragon Gate 6-man, I thought. All 6 guys brought it. Flamita was amazing live. Strong Machine J had such a fighting spirit to this match. I really thought the ending sequence of this was special. And the whole match was good, but the ending flurry was really awesome. Getting to see the Natural Vibes dance in person was amazing as well. I was hoping when KZ came to Defy he would do it, but it was just him. No one else in Natural Vibes was there, so I knew it probably wasn't going to happen. So I'm glad I did get to see it. And the shocking victory for Natural Vibes was really fun as well. We all kind of thought Natural Vibes going into the show was kind of in their dying embers. So it was a real shock to see them win. But this is maybe the strongest trio in all of Dragon Gate. So I think it's a good choice. Match 5 was the Open the Brave Gate tournament final to crown the next Open the Brave Gate champion. The hometown boy of UT versus the young wonder kid of Homare. So UT got a real hero's welcome here. He got maybe 15 to 20 bouquets of flowers from the people in Nagoya. And Homare took the time to bash him over the head with every single one of those bouquets. Which, I don't know how it came across on TV, but live I thought it was a lot of fun. He went to all 4 corners of the floor, so I got to see one bouquet fly up in the air and almost hit me coming down. This match was really strong, I thought as well. Homare had a really good showcase here. UT has slowly won me over. I kind of just thought he was a guy for a long time since getting back into Dragon Gate. But now that he's getting this singles push, which led to this Brave Gate title win, I see what's appealing about him. I don't know how long this Brave Gate run will last. But for this one night, to see the Nagoya hometown boy finally get the win in Dolphins Arena was special. I was happy to be there for it. It was quite the sight to see Natural Vibes end the night all as champions. When going in, they seemed like heavy underdogs in both matches. The semi-main event, I went 4 stars in the Brave Gate match. And I forgot to say my Triangle Gate rating, which was 4.5 stars. Semi-main event was the Open the Dream Gate title match between the champion Yamato and challenger Jason Lee. This I thought was the biggest disappointment in the night live. It seems like a fairly polarizing match. Some people are really high on this. This was the one match I think I was lower on live than people watching at home were. I thought Yamato's had a really strong Dream Gate run, but him and Jason Lee just weren't quite clicking. This match was slow and plodding. I felt like it never really picked up. And then you get the ref bump at the end, which led to a fun closing sequence there. But this match never really felt like it got out of second gear for me. I gave it 3.5 stars. The main event was the traditional survival 6-way cage match where everyone puts their hair or their mask on their line. So you had the 3 members of Z-Brats, Shun Skywalker, Kota Minoura, and Ishin against the 3 members of D-Courage, Yuki Yoshioka, Dragon Daya, and Madoka Kakuta. This match was a ball. This was the match that I really wanted to go to the show for, knowing that this is the last show in Dolphins Arena until the major upgrades complete in a couple years. And then I got a treat with a pretty strong story here where it was the year-long arc of Yuki coming back, Shun tormenting them, putting the divide in D-Courage, and ending in this match here. The one thing I forgot to talk about in the pre-show matches leading up to this is I was sitting right in front of, he must have been a 6 or 7-year-old boy that was screaming at the top of his lungs the whole show, which was really fun. He almost felt a bit smarky because he was rooting for Homare instead of UT in the Brave Gate match. He's rooting for Jason in the Dream Gate match. But he knew all the guys he was rooting for, both teams in the 10-man tag. But he was all about D-Courage in the main event. Yuki Yoshioka seemed like his guy. So the match ends in maybe the most predictable way in hindsight, but I'm not sure we necessarily saw it coming leading up to it, with Kakuta actually turning on Yuki Yoshioka and joining Z-Brats. Him and Shun Skywalker escaping the cage at the same time, and ultimately Yoshioka getting his head shaved. That kid was wailing. He was devastated, and it really made the heel turn for Kakuta super effective for me, because you could really just feel the heartbreak in his voice. Overall, I thought this match was really fun. The way Ishin escaped the cage I thought was super clever. We had the Dragon Daya injury scare, which I think took the air out of this match for a lot of people. I thought it made it pretty compelling to watch Kakuta and Yoshioka help him out of the cage, and him having to climb down that cage with one arm. He didn't use the injured elbow arm the whole way down the cage. But then he ultimately got back up and involved in the finishing sequence. So I wasn't too worried about him long term, even though he wasn't moving that arm much. The other big highlight of this match for me was when Kota Minoura escaped. That same boy let out the biggest disgusting, when he threw all the powder in Yoshioka's mad face to escape. Because we were so close to the Japanese commentary team, I think you might even be able to hear him because it was so loud and the whole section laughs at his reaction. I gave this match 4 stars. I thought this was an absolute ball. I loved every second of it. Overall, it was the most special experience and the most fun I've ever had at a wrestling show. getting to clap along with Dragonstorm at the beginning was like a euphoric experience for me. Getting to see all these guys that I loved from 2008, 2009, 2010, as well as all these new guys that I've fallen in love with that I never really thought I would get a chance to see with Dragon Gate being a Japanese company was really special. I felt like I got to see everyone kind of at the peak of their powers here. I can't recommend going to a Dragon Gate show enough. I've been fortunate enough to be to a couple AEW pay-per-views. I've been to a Battle of Los Angeles. I've been to a dozen Defy shows. I don't think anything came close to my experience here. I just had the best time of my life with Dragon Gate, Dead or Alive. And overall, Dead or Alive, probably an 8.5 out of 10 show, but my favorite wrestling experience ever. A 10 out of 10 experience, an 11 out of 10 experience. I can't recommend the show enough. All right, thanks.